Hi guys, I'm Kyla Jo Norris. I used to be Tig. That was really hard to say Norris and not Tig. I just got married this past October 2nd, to my husband Corey. We've been together over 5.5 years and we are now expecting a little girl. I started this YouTube channel mostly to share my gardening. Originally it was my artwork back in art school. And now I'm going to be sharing a mixture of my gardening, my life, baby Norris coming. We've not picked a name yet for her. I'm actually 23 weeks this coming Sunday. Yeah, so I just wanted to start sharing a little bit about the nursery, the behind the scenes, the way it ends up. We are almost done with the painting, the wainscoting, the trim, all of that. Put a new ceiling fan up. Corey built the wainscoting because he's a carpenter. And we painted the walls white and this pretty green that I'm going to show you. We're doing a classic Winnie the Pooh nursery mixed with kind of some flowers, not super feminine, a little bit more neutral colors. But yeah, and then we're kind of adding in some acorn colored wood that matches the crib from Pottery Barn. And then some of my DIY cabinets that I have painted in the past. And then some wicker colors and just some natural greens and maybe a little bit of pink. I'm gonna kind of incorporate some of the colors from the classic Winnie the Pooh characters from the storybook. I'm not doing the bright new Disney Winnie the Pooh. My family's been helping me add to the classic Winnie the Pooh character theme that I wanted to do. I've gotten some really pretty crib sheets, some burp cloths, some swaddles. I found an eBay mobile for the crib, and some vintage little figures and everything. So I'm really excited to see it all come together, and I thought you guys might enjoy seeing the process as well. I love watching other people decorate their homes and nurseries and how they found the pieces and what they're adding to it. So yeah, hi Kip, my dog just joined us. Come here bud. Hi. But yeah, so I just wanted to get on here and introduce myself, maybe tell you a little bit about myself before you start watching my channel. But yeah, so I am from Muncie, Indiana. I grew up in Selma, just a little bit out of Muncie, and graduated from Wapahani High School. I then went to Indiana Wesleyan for a year to go study photography, and then I transferred back to Ball State in Muncie. Love Ball State. I was there for 4 years. I got my BFA in photography and intermediate arts. And then right after college, I started working in Fishers for another photographer, and I learned quite a bit working there for 2 years. I then started my own business during that time, opened up my own studio in 2018. I photographed newborns, milestones, maternity, little kids, boudoir, different things in the studio. I have a lifestyle studio and a portrait studio. And then I also photograph weddings, and then families, seniors, pretty much photograph it all, pets, anything. I also own a photo booth business and rent out my photo booth to weddings that I shoot and other people for events like parties, graduation parties, anniversary, retirement parties, anything. The photo booth goes, it's been to several of my events as well, my wedding, and my bridal shower. So yeah, I do that for a living. I'm full-time photographer, studio work and outdoor photography. I would say if I had to pick a favorite subject that I photograph, it would probably be newborns and milestone photography, but I love shooting families, I love shooting seniors. Boudoir is such a different thing that I love shooting. I don't get to shoot a ton of it, but when I do, I love it. Weddings are very long, hard days. I'm working from noon until sometimes midnight, earlier, later. So weddings definitely take up a lot of time editing, but it's so special to capture such a special once in a lifetime moment for that couple. So I love all the different aspects of it. Lots of stress, lots of hard work, lots of concentration. My body aches for days afterwards. But I just love every little bit of it. And I can't focus on one thing. I can't just pick one subject and photograph it because I love photographing pets. I can't just photograph pets. I want to photograph babies, kids, families. So pretty much from when a baby is born until someone dies, I can photograph any point in their life. And I love being able to stick with a family and see them grow from just a couple with their first dog to getting married to having babies, having a family, and then photographing their seniors graduating high school. So it's really cool. I get to photograph all kinds of different people, and it's always something different, which is really fitting for my lifestyle and my personality. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about my business. I love gardening. So gardening is I started gardening because I just love growing plants. I love being outdoors. I love getting my hands dirty. Like, I don't wear gardening gloves. I want to get dirt under my nails. I want to just like get in the dirt and just get dirty. I know that sounds really weird, but I love it. So I started gardening when I was little with my stepdad, and I always would plant radishes and pick the radishes. Love that. It was my favorite part. I then was in botany class in high school with Mrs. Gassaway for 2 years, and I learned so much in the greenhouse. And that really, I guess, is where a lot of my knowledge came from gardening, but I've taught myself so much more as well. Just between like being in the garden and like failing at planting some things and succeeding at other things, learning along the way. I love it. So I first started gardening about 2 years ago at my house here, and I got this little tiny 6x6 greenhouse. It was like the cheapest thing ever and for a greenhouse, and I love it. So I keep a lot of my gardening tools in there, and I start some of the seeds in there, and I start some of the seeds in the garage. So you will see me out in the garden a lot, and I cannot wait to add my little girl to the mix and start gardening with her, wearing her, and then when she's older, introducing her to like planting things, pulling weeds, and like seeing the flowers grow and getting all the pretty pictures in the garden too. One of my favorite parts. Hi, Kippers. Hi, bud. You'll see my cat Muggsy that goes out and gardens with me sometimes, and you'll see Kip out there. Carbon, our Malamute, he runs away when he's not in the fence or on a leash, so he's not in the garden very much. And then Dipper is not much of an outside cat. He likes to stay inside. But you'll see all 4 of my animals here and there, I'm sure, in the nursery. But yeah, so you'll see me gardening, and I love to grow radishes, peppers, kale, squash. I'm not into tomato growing, not a tomato fan. Everyone always asks me to grow tomatoes for them. Not what I'll be doing. I tried to grow some like garlic last year, didn't succeed, so I'm gonna try that again this year. Onions, things like that. So yeah, and then I had some like zucchini and cucumbers grow as well last year. So, I'm like all over the place. I'm sorry guys, I'm like really random. I really also love arugula. If you have not tried arugula, please try arugula. You guys will get to know me. I'm a little bit spacey. I'll like think of something like 10 minutes later and be like, oh, I should have said that. So yeah, sorry guys, ahead of time. But yeah, so out in the garden, I then started growing lots of flowers and wildflowers because we got married in October, and my goal was to grow all of my flowers for the wedding. I did not want to go spend the money on flowers when I knew I could grow them. So I spent all year planting flowers at different times of the year that I knew would then be blooming at that time. So October 2nd, in Indiana, you never know what the weather's gonna be like. It could be rainy, cold, might snow, probably not yet, or it could be like super hot and sunny. So you have no idea what to expect in Indiana. So that was definitely a big risk I took last year, but it came through, and I grew lots of dahlia tubers, zinnias. My garden was full of zinnias. The dahlias were the prettiest. I love those. Lots of cosmos. The cosmos press really well as well, so I would like to try to press some more cosmos this year and do some nice flower arrangements and maybe sell those. Lots of cosmos, lots of wildflowers, wildflower mixtures that I did in the garden. So lots of experimenting, and they came out really well. So I did all of my centerpieces for the wedding, and I did my bouquet and my maid of honor's bouquet, and any flowers that were in the wedding except for the arch, because the arch was so big and I knew that I would have to create that like arrangement ahead of time, and I would not have the time for it. We did go to a local florist and have her create the arch flowers for the ceremony, which I'm really glad I did, because that would have been really stressful for me, getting that arrangement together and making sure it got there, not like, you know, damaging the flowers. So I did all of my centerpieces for the reception and our bouquets, and I was so happy with that. And I saved tons of money by doing it, and I also had so much fun growing all the flowers. So that was my big project last year. And while growing those flowers, you have to keep them cut back. So flowers will not keep blooming throughout the year. When it gets later in the year, if you don't keep them cut back, they'll die. They'll stop blooming. So I started cutting back all of our flowers. Every week and a half, I would cut back the flowers, and I would put them out and arrange them on the flower cart and sell them. So I started posting about that on Facebook, and within like an hour, I would be sold out for the day. And I would think, oh, they'd be there for like the whole day, and I could like sell them. People would come by like in the neighborhood. So I did this the first couple times, and they would literally sell out like 30 minutes to an hour. And I was like, what the heck? So I started doing it a little bit more often, and every time I would post, they would sell out. I think I had one time I had like 1 or 2 arrangements left, and I just put them in our house. So I loved doing that last year, and a lot of people grew to like love knowing that I was gonna be like sharing these flowers. They would come by, pick them up for a few dollars. I wouldn't charge much because really I was just needing to cut back my flowers so I could grow them for my wedding and keep them growing. So this year I plan on growing some more flowers, some different arrangements. I went through my burpees catalog yesterday and picked out some like different flowers that I haven't grown before that would be really pretty in flower arrangements. So this year I'm adding a baby, you know, to the mix, still have my photography business full time. And I will then also have my garden, which is amazing. It's a lot to keep up with. I hope I can like manage it all, but you guys will see how that goes. I'm sure there'll be some stress along the way, but the amazing thing with the garden is like, I miss it right now. It's winter in Indiana. It is cold. My garden looks disgusting. It is brown and nasty. I cut down most of the plants, but I still have some here or there. It just looks terrible. I cannot wait for spring and summer, fall. I literally can just go outside anytime during the day. Like I work from home usually unless I'm shooting at the studio or outdoors. And I can just go outside and take like a 5-minute walk through the garden. It is the most relaxing therapy ever. In the evening I go out and I pull weeds and I water and I like just, you know, walk through and cut some of my flowers. And then about weekly I'll be making the bouquets and selling those. So it's just like an amazing therapeutic, relaxing experience for me, and I miss it so much in the winter. So I cannot wait to get back into that. Even though it does take time, it takes a lot of work, takes effort, you know, it could be a little bit stressful here and there. It is so worth it for me because the amount of therapy I receive for it, like for myself, is just amazing. So yeah, you will see me in the garden this year again. So I have so many things that I love to keep up with. I love making things. I love being creative. Sometimes those things have to take the back burner with when I have my business and my flowers going, and I'm gonna be adding baby and, you know, just housework and everything. So the good thing about the garden is that allows me to be creative and create those bouquets and be artistic and like make art like I always love doing. So yeah, you guys will see a big mixture here on the channel, and I know that's kind of a niche subject, photographer, mom, gardener. So if you don't love all 3 of those, I'm sorry. Maybe you'll find something here and there that you love. But if you love photography, gardening, and being a mom and wife, you know, then please enjoy. And animal lover, because I've got all 4 of my furry boys that will be in the channel, I'm sure, along with me. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here, say hi, kind of like do a collage introduction of all of my life and tell you about it. Yeah, I hope that was enjoyable to listen to. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. We're like 14 minutes into this, maybe. Probably cut some of that out, so maybe not even 14 minutes in. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. If you guys have any of those topics you would love to hear me talk about, or if you have any questions, please comment below and I will touch on them a little bit more in depth. I have a list of some things I would like to like talk about and, you know, just dive deeper into in individual videos, and maybe not have everything so spread out and all over the place like this video. But yeah, so if you have anything you would like to hear or talk about, or if you have any questions, let me know. My name is Kyla Jo Norris, whatever you want to call me. Originally Kyla Jo Tig. It's really weird. That's like not my name anymore. And I'm an animal lover, a garden lover, photographer, full-time studio and outdoors, families, kids, babies, weddings, everything. Yeah, and gonna be a mom here soon and just became wife. So lots of new things clashing into one, and I'm excited to share it all with you. And I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy my channel. I can't wait to share more. Bye guys.